a wonderful atmosphere. 44,000 the capacity, as I mentioned, probably not to capacity as yet, as the two teams will shake hands in front of our referee as well. They are 600 miles apart, these two countries, of course. The story goes back to the Yugoslavian war back in the 1990s, which led to the breakup of Yugoslavia and the creation of those newly independent governed countries, including that of Serbia. And the last to gain independence was Kosovo, which was under Serbian control. And the reason that last time round Granit Xhaka and Xherdan Shaqiri both made that celebration, which contained the symbol of the Albanian and Kosovan flag, has to do with the fact that their families have Kosovan Albanian heritage as well. There were fines involved. FIFA weren't happy. There were discriminatory flags in the stands as well. Let's just hope that football is the winner this time round. As we've already seen in this tournament, a flag apparently from in the Serbian dressing room and around the Serbian supporters, which included Kosovo within the borders, and the slogan, "We do not surrender." FIFA will have their eyes fixed, there is no doubt, on this fixture this evening, both on the field and off the field. As I mentioned, the Argentinian Fernando Rapalini takes charge of this fixture, one of South America's leading officials. He actually took charge of Switzerland's win over France in Bucharest at the Euros last season, which saw the French knocked out of the competition. He's refereed once already a game between Morocco and Croatia. That was his opening assignment of this World Cup. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk is alongside me. I mean, the political stuff aside, it's a crucial game, but that just adds this additional edge to it, you feel?
Yeah, definitely, as you say, in terms of the football itself and what's at stake for both of these sides. That's enough. Obviously then the political background and everything behind it adds to that. So I think we're, as much as, you know, we're looking at the football, it's also going to be a feisty game to watch. And you know, if anything, this World Cup has shown there's going to be upsets, and we could be on for another one tonight.
Yeah, we certainly can. As we mentioned, Dusan Tadic will play a key role probably for Serbia. A little bit underwhelmed with him so far in this tournament. I mean, in terms of his age, he's 34 now. His 94th cap. He played a part in getting them here with that win over Portugal. But it's on this stage that he really needs to deliver, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's one thing to get to a World Cup, but then you want to do it on the biggest stage. And as you say, you know, he's aging, Tadic, but it's still a massive part of this squad. But this is what you need now in these massive moments. Your big players, you know, Tadic, Mitrovic, they really need to step up to this game now to have any chance of qualifying. We
do have players who are walking the fine line of potential suspension. Milinkovic, Pavlovic, Lukic, also Jovic, who's one of the substitutes. He is also at risk because he was booked, having not yet made an appearance. He was booked with his celebration in the game against Cameroon, so already has a yellow card in that instance. A huddle, not surprisingly, being led by Granit Xhaka for the Swiss right now. No surprise that Shaqiri came back in tonight, as I mentioned, along with Rodriguez and Xhaka. They bypassed Barami and Lichtsteiner and move up to 11 World Cup appearances with their starting berths this evening. Referee is in yellow. The Swiss, unsurprisingly, all in white tonight. Serbia, the home side, obviously get first dibs on the red. And we are off and running. And we're off and running with, away to our right-hand side, the Swiss having possession and looking immediately to knock it forward and put some pressure here on Veljkovic and Pavlovic on that far side, and wide on the right. They've got an opportunity to get an early ball in here. It's cleared away by Pavlovic, and the driven shot comes from Xhaka. Breaks inside the penalty. And Bolo's there, and it's a good save from the keeper. Back to Granit Xhaka. Super save low down to his right-hand side by Milinkovic Savic as well. Two excellent stops to deny a goal in the opening 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's a fantastic start from Switzerland, is it? Straight up the pitch. You know, straight away this shot from Xhaka. Loads of power behind it. That one's initially blocked by a defender. Great save here from the keeper, keeping himself big, and then parries another shot out.
Perfect start for the Swiss. And they're away again down this left-hand side. Sal gets it inside the penalty area, and Bolo's there, the man who scored the winner in that opening fixture, of course, of this campaign against Cameroon. And away down that right-hand side, a first chance now for the Swiss to build from the back. A really bright start in the opening 60 seconds.
It was a really good start. If I'm being ultra critical, should Embolo score there really to go 1-0 up so early? It'd be a massive statement. But is it because it's early in the game? He's not quite found his feet yet.
Rodriguez by the corner flag pops that early ball in after the laid through from Vargas. It's headed clear from the edge of the penalty area. There is nothing better than non-cagey games where everything is on the line, and that's the deal tonight. You kind of saw it with the Serbians in those final 10 minutes against Cameroon. The score was 3-3. They'd been pegged back from their comfortable advantage of 3-1 that they held, and they suddenly went, do you know what, we'll take our chances against Switzerland.
Yeah, I think there's that moment in the game managing that, isn't it, against Cameroon, and you're thinking if we go forward and try and get the next goal we could potentially concede. So they were happy with the point, you know, in that moment of time, and thinking that they've got enough to go and beat the Swiss. But obviously we're only 2 minutes in, but on this, from what we can see, the Swiss have started the far better of the two sides.
On ball through the middle that time by Milinkovic-Savic, of course the two brothers in this Serbian lineup. Milinkovic-Savic, the keeper, is the younger of the two at 25 years of age, only a 10th cap for him. Spent a little bit of time at Manchester United without ever making an appearance, and ended up departing because they couldn't get a work permit for him. But he's found his home at Torino, and he's found his home as the number one for Serbia right now. And they have possession just outside the penalty area, and they have it with Milos Veljkovic to Pavlovic, and infield it's picked up by Lukic, who he's put under pressure by Mbolo, and it comes wide on this right hand side to Milenkovic. And this is good pressing from the Swiss to start with here, closing down and not allowing the Serbians any time on the ball.
Yeah, they've been really good, and impressed with how they've started. I don't think, despite the win, they were all that great against Cameroon, to be honest, and I think Cameroon probably ruined some of their missed chances, and they were quite passive at times, Switzerland. But you see today they really are on it from that start whistle. They're on the front foot and really engaged in this game.
There's Dusan Tadic out wide on that left hand side, captain's armband on, of course, for Serbia, into Milinkovic-Savic in midfield. Now they'll just switch play out to this right hand side as they try to find some space and an opportunity maybe for Zivkovic. He's closed down by two runners down the line though, but he chooses to ignore and goes back infield once more to Milenkovic, who's a long way forward, out wide on that left hand side. Ball picked up nicely by Kostic, gets the crossover, has to be headed clear by Akanji inside the 6-yard area. It was a devilishly good ball. Here's Kostic again on the move down that left hand side, gives it short to Tadic once more. He's got 3 white shirts around him immediately. Shaqiri just steps off him for a moment, and he wins his side the first corner of the game.
Initially it's a good ball in, isn't it? Defender actually defends it really well, and that ball looking for Mitrovic, and you know with the form he's in at the moment that if he can get anything on that, it's probably going to result in the goal. But now Serbia fighting back against the Swiss with some of their own attacking play.
Tadic, of course, playing his trade at Ajax now, previously with Southampton. Player of the year for Serbia 3 times. He's won that accolade. Here's the corner, left-footed, swung over, headed downwards and just wide from Nikola Milenkovic, and he should have done better and got that on target. The inquest begins. Sau immediately is the player that's being questioned about his marking, but Milenkovic, what an opportunity.
Yeah, and you see there's an inquest, isn't there, and they don't really know who they're picking up. Sau, even though he's jumping with him there, he's got to do better. Yes, you might not win the ball, but you've got to at least try and put him off the stride and take that off target. But you see here from Mbolo, he's got to do better. Yes, it's early in the game. Yes, it's at an awkward height, but I really do think that he needs to score there, and I think that's some of the issue with the Swiss. Their build-up play, they keep possession well, but actually having that out-and-out scorer and taking advantage of the opportunities they're creating, they need to do a lot better.
Milinkovic-Savic made himself very big, which did help to snuff out that opportunity. It's quite an awkward height for Mbolo to try and get it under control. He's won inside a free kick here, just outside the centre circle in the Serbian half, and another opportunity for those in white to push forward. And again, the ball's moving, so the referee will pull that one back and ask for it to be taken again. And Remo Freuler will take it for the Swiss outright on the right hand side where Fidmer is waiting. They look to work it with Shaqiri, and there were the boos coming from the Serbian supporters, as you can imagine. As we mentioned, he also had the flag stitched into his boot last time out as well, another political gesture which FIFA didn't appreciate. Both he and Granit Xhaka were fined. It was the Kosovan group who actually paid the fines for them. Dragan Stojkovic, the Serbian manager, appointed in March 2021, 3 years on his contract, of course. World Cup appearances to his name, in fact 9 in total at 2. 1990 and 1998, of course, when they were playing under that Yugoslav banner. Here's Ricardo Rodriguez. Infield to Xhaka. Out wide on this left-hand side to Ruben Vargas. Right-footed ball, clipped towards him, Bolo at the edge of the 6-yard box, but that's easy for Milinkovic-Savic to come and collect.
You can see his teammate there, he's trying to say to him the ball's not right, and does well Vargas when he cuts in, and he's got more time and space than really the quality of the ball that he delivered.
7 minutes on the clock on TalkSport 2. Serbia 0, Switzerland 0. Still goalless as well in the game between Cameroon and Brazil. Probably about 30 seconds ahead of us. They're at Stadium 974. And it's the Swiss who have time on the ball at the back. Serbians not pressing too high. We are seeing that two-pronged attack really of Mitrovic and Vlahovic, with Tadic probably just tucking into that number 10 role a little bit more. Ball won by Kostic on the far side. Gets it over halfway. Clipped forward though, this time lined by Sal. And out of play for a throw on that left-hand side because Shaqiri unable to get himself on the end of it. 11 World Cup appearances for Xherdan Shaqiri. Missed out last time out, of course, against Brazil. And you maybe think that it was a conscious decision. He also is, 30 years of age now. Just resting him for what they saw as the crucial tie, really. Having got the picture against Cameroon, it was all about this game against Serbia. Go down that far touchline, flicked on by Mitrovic, who'd come a little bit deeper, and then forward it goes again, and it's gathered up by Vlahovic, and that's gone out of play, and it will be a throw-in on that far side for the Swiss.
See what Serbia are trying to do, get that ball into Mitrovic. We know, if you've from watching the Premier League games, and he holds the ball up so well, he can be that link player. Vlahovic then has got to give him the angle in behind him, or Tadic, whoever it is, and then you've got to have a runner in behind him as well.
3 goals in 11 games so far this season for Dusan Vlahovic for Juventus, of course, after his spell previously with Fiorentina. On this occasion it's Pavlovic who's midway inside the Swiss half, trying to force things forward for this Serbian side, but it will go out of play on the left, and Kostic is going to take the throw. And down the line he goes into the feet of Tadic, who's got close attention for Vidma. He's done really well though. Tadic trying to work his way through, keeps the ball in towards the edge of the byline. It's actually rolling along the touchline. Tadic is still going, trying to force his way through with a bit of help from Kostic. And in the end it goes behind for what will be a goal kick, but no one willing to touch the ball as it literally rolled along the byline.
No, it just kept going and going, didn't it? It looked like it was about to roll out, but just keep rolling down that line, and Tadic was ever so well industrious, but just can't quite get the final touch on the ball.
I'm not going to suggest that line's crooked, but it seems to follow an interesting path, or the ground maybe is a tad uneven.
Let's not talk about balls and bylines again.
Well, no, we saw plenty of that last night, and some still not convinced it's not some collusion and stitch-up. I think there's a couple of angles for me that the arc of the ball is just about in line with the byline.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think from every angle I've seen, it probably looks a little bit different.
Ball through down his right-hand side. Tadic, edge of the penalty area, goes back in field nicely. Opportunity maybe to get the shot away. He's in the post, can't quite turn it in. It's a driven effort from Zivkovic. Hit the post, and the ricochet ends up in the arms of Gregor Kobel, and Serbia within inches of taking the lead.
Kobel is so happy for that ricochet to come back off the post. Normally they go anywhere at the back of the net. Sometimes they come off the back of the keeper and go in, but luckily it's in his arms.
Sal does well, but it's a really good challenge from, on that occasion, Milenkovic. Now down this left-hand side, Xhaka for the Swiss. Here's Rodriguez, back with Xhaka again. You can tell the moment that Xhaka and Shaqiri have the ball, the boos resound around Stadium 974. Forward this time by Kobel. First time he'd really have been called into action in this game. He was beaten, but the post come to his rescue. And we had 11 minutes. Serbia 0, Switzerland 0 on TalkSport 2, and it remains Cameroon 0, Brazil 0 over on TalkSport as well. Down the left-hand side, here comes Serbia again, chasing in the penalty area. Nearly came to Mitrovic, and across comes Akanji and gets it out of play on that far side. And Serbia just starting to probe and find small gaps in this Swiss defence.
After a bit of a shaky start, they're getting into the game now, and as you say, finding those spaces, little intricate 1 and 2 touches. Kanji does ever so well there, I think, with his positioning. Reads where the ball's going to land really well to clear it.
It's appeared more often for Man City than I think most of us expected throughout this campaign as Akanji. They're settled in quite nicely in Pep Guardiola's regime. And certainly it's an area that they've had their injury troubles over the last few seasons, and he's turned out to be a useful addition for Manchester City as we get a replay on our monitors. Well, it came out to Mitrovic again. That was it. It came straight off the post, hit Mitrovic, and Vlahovic was there, but it just ended up in the arms of Gregor Kobel. A bit of frustration from Nikola Milenkovic that there's not enough options on for him there, and he almost got caught by Vargas.
Yeah, we're going back to that shot, Serbia, they're so unlucky, aren't they, the way it comes off the post. Say Mitrovic actually does quite well to sort of react, slash it, you know, it hits him, and you're expecting that to go in the back of the net, but somehow Kobel, happily for him, manages to take the ball safely into his arms.
Good start to this game, 12 and a half minutes played, Serbia 0, Switzerland 0. Launched forward by Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Good header one that time in the middle of the park by Sao, and he was just caught in that process by Sasha Lucic. A conversation from Dusan Tadic to the referee to say surely that's not a foul, but there's a little nudge in the back. Sao had won the header. And all the noise at this moment in time coming from the Serbian supporters. 13 minutes played, 0-0. And it's a fairly even contest when it comes to possession as well. Hold it at the back. The Swiss looking to come forward towards halfway. Into Mbolo, who just turns and then spins off, and now away down the left-hand side is Vargas. Vargas to the byline, cuts it back, driven shot that time by the left foot of the arriving Granit Xhaka, I think it was. And the shot is blocked. Chases on here. Akanji will go back to his keeper Kobel. And almost Switzerland taking the lead. Brilliant play by Vargas down the left-hand side.
Yeah, he did really well, and I watched him in the Cameroon game, didn't we? And I was less than impressed, I would say, with his end product, but there he did so well, gets himself in the right position, and to find the cutback and to find his teammate coming onto it. But again, Serbia getting blocks in at the right time, but you just do think how long can they do that for before Switzerland score. Xhaka to Vargas. Xhaka's gone on the run again. He's got Mbolo inside, slips it to the edge of the penalty area where Sal was waiting. Now the counter's on. Mitrovic out wide to the left-hand side to Kostic. Kostic is taking on Vidma down that left-hand touchline. Kostic still going towards the corner flag, then cuts inside. He's fouled by Vidma, who drags him down level with a penalty spot, and that's going to be a yellow card for Vidma. He's in the book, the first of the game. And he'll have to watch himself now against Kostic on that far side. Yeah, under 15 minutes in, and it's a long game now to be on a yellow card, but it's a great piece of skill there. Look at this, just a little chop back Cruyff, and he's away. If not for Vidma pulling him back, it's a really good run down that left-hand side.
Yeah, no surprise to see Dragan Stojkovic from the bench waving the imaginary card. Referee obliged on this occasion. Fernando Rapellini. Here come the big men up for the set pieces again, and they are big, some of them. Tadic is going to deliver. Milenkovic, Velkovic and Pavlovic are all lurking, and not to forget the small matter of Mitrovic. 9 Premier League goals to his name already this season. The delivery from Tadic isn't the best though, can't get beyond the first man, who is Remo Freuler on this occasion.
It's very poor, that is, and when you bring in your centre-halves up as well, making them run all the way up the pitch, they'll not thank him for that sort of delivery.
In the 16th minute, Serbia 0, Switzerland 0. Down that left-hand side, Serbia with a throw. Comes short to Sasha Lukic. To the right-hand side, looking for Milenkovic. Back into Rodkovic, who tries to switch play towards Kostic on that far left-hand touchline. Couldn't find him on this occasion. It'll be brought down just at the edge of the centre circle. Very sloppy moment of play, but it's Milinkovic-Savic who gets it, and now charging forward is Pavlovic. Pavlovic still going to the byline, cuts it back, but no power on it as he was trying to pull it back into the pathway of Dusan Vlahovic, but instead it's out for what will be a corner down the left for Serbia.
doesn't quite come off, but again, that little 1 and 2 touch, finding the gap down that left-hand side, Serbia, it's definitely a good area of opportunity for them that they've exploited already.
Another corner, second of the game for Serbia. On that left-hand side, Tadic is going to deliver towards the edge of that 6-yard box. It's cleared away. Good defensive header that time from Granit Xhaka. Chases on. However, the ball gathered on halfway for Serbia, who look to come forward in red once more. And out wide to the left-hand side it goes, with Sasha Lukic trying to find Kostic, but Tadic picks it up. Freuler's in close attention. Tadic towards the corner flag. Freuler closing him down. Just spins and turns and then does brilliantly. Lays it off to Kostic inside the box. Cuts that back towards Vlahovic, who was waiting. Couldn't find him. Edge of the box again. They still have possession. Milinkovic-Savic gets it in early towards Mitrovic, and it's cleared away by Akanji. And now Vargas will try and break to Mbolo over halfway. Now Mbolo, he's got a chance to run at them here, and he slips through the first challenge, not the second. It's a really good tackle actually that come in from Milinkovic-Savic to win the ball quite cleanly, and Serbia will gather possession once more.
It's a really good challenge, isn't it, there? I don't think Mbolo would come out the better there. I think he was the one up and all Serbia players around him, but nonetheless Milinkovic-Savic has to get that challenge right, and it's wonderful.
Perfect timing from the elder of the two brothers. Here's Cabell. Breathtaking game. 18 minutes gone. Serbia 0, Switzerland 0. On TalkSport 2 reminder tomorrow night. Tyson Fury's in action. The big fight, the trilogy fight, is live on TalkSport. Exclusive radio commentary from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow night. We'll bring it to you after, of course, one of the last 16 ties in this World Cup, as that's again the charge down that left-hand side by Kostic, and his ball and he's blocked out at the near post. And now it's going to be a free kick, I think, for a foul on that far side. And the player that's penalised is Pavlovic for the challenge on Freuler, and it'll give the Swiss and maybe everyone just a little moment of breath here.
Yeah, you see Kostic here again down this left-hand side. That ball gets cut out that time, but him running forward, it's definitely causing problems. It's then just about the runs in the box and getting those angles right.
Oh, Vargas has put Rodriguez away. There's two inside the penalty area. Rodriguez going alone as he pulls it back to Mbolo. Sau inside the box, tees it up for Shaqiri. Deflected shot and in for Xherdan Shaqiri, and Switzerland leads. And he celebrates like Ronaldo as he points at his number with both his thumbs, and the Swiss are in delight because they've got 1 foot in the last 16 of the World Cup. 19 minutes gone. Serbia 0, Switzerland 1.
Thought the moment had gone. Sau, when it comes to him in the box there, you're thinking hit it first time. He doesn't. He's calm, he's composed. He lays it off to Shaqiri, who does ever so well with his shot. There's loads of power in it. Yes, it takes a deflection, but hitting the target. And really, this is against the run of play, but Rodriguez does ever so well here with the little cutback. I'm thinking here, Sau, hit it, but he doesn't. Lays it off. Shaqiri just tries to trust himself, hits it hard and low. Yes, it takes a deflection, but he's hitting the target, and that's the important thing. And for me, for Switzerland, I think it's ever so slightly against the run of play. The momentum of this game has been up and down and up and down, and this is the first twist in the tail, and there'll be a few more tonight, I'm sure.
Well, you have to feel a bit for Strikinja Pavlovic. He blocked the initial ball that came in, and he's either got himself up off his backside to try and block the shot from Shaqiri, but through his legs, caught the inside of his calf. Finger to the lips is the celebration from Xherdan Shaqiri. His 5th goal in World Cups and his 11th appearance, the first in Qatar 2022. And with 20 minutes on the clock, the Swiss have the advantage.
And this is what you need in big games. You need your big players to step up, which Shaqiri's done, and he's been directly involved with so many goals in major tournaments for the Swiss, and again popping up at an important time.
Xhaka 25 yards out, gives it here short to Vargas. Vargas back to Granit Xhaka again, who tries the shot first time comfortably into the arms of Milinkovic-Savic, and the Swiss seem buoyed up. Wonder how Serbia can respond here. Still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, as things stand in the other game. So it's kind of as you were really, with Brazil and the Swiss going through as things stand right now. Here comes Vargas. Oh, and Bolo is going to be penalised there. Just a little shove as he tried to win possession midway inside of his own half. The foul on Milenkovic. And here they come again, Serbia. How will they respond? It's in the middle of the park once more with Sasha Lukic down this right-hand side. Looks like Gianni Infantino has decided that he's going to watch Brazil tonight, as opposed to come and watch this game between Serbia and Switzerland. We are watching both games because we've got a monitor on that one just for when things get tight, which they may well, as we know. Vlahovic goes up to win the header and it's gathered comfortably by Cabell. He was just checking both his phones actually. That was probably just to make reference to Shaqiri and his finger on his lips celebration, I suspect, but we shall see.
Yeah, just checking is not in any breach of any FIFA regulations, I'm sure.
Midway point of the first half on TalkSport 2. Serbia 0, Switzerland 1. Xherdan Shaqiri, who else? In the 20th minute of the game, that was 3 minutes ago, with that goal. Deflected and in. Lovely ball here though. Saus just nipped in between the defender and the goalkeeper. And he went down and they wanted the penalty, but the referee in the perfect position to say no chance.
Yeah, I think he's looking for that, and I think it's a shame for him really, because I think he's got himself in front of the defender really well. If he takes that on with the keeper on rushing with him, takes it on in his left foot, strikes it across goal, it's a better opportunity, but he's just waiting for contact for the penalty that doesn't come.
Referee plays advantage here. Xhaka fights Embolo. He's drilled that to the feet of Embolo. 25 yards out from goal. He's got the strength to shrug off the first challenge though, then goes towards the edge of the penalty area. Doesn't quite get there. Mitrovic holds it up nicely, and on that left hand side it's with Pavlovic, and it's out of play, and the referee may well be having a word here for that challenge that came in. The referee did let play continue, and quite rightly it was a cheeky little one on Sal from Sasha Lukic, and it will be a throw to Serbia on the far side. Experienced referee, one of the best in South America, and commonly experienced as one of the best that FIFA have, really. Certainly was the first South American to officiate a game in the Euros, as he did last summer. Going forward is the centre half, Pavlovic, out wide on that left hand side. He gives it to Kostic, back into Pavlovic again. Here's Lukic, the right hand side. Stats of the game so far kind of say it all really. 6 attempts from the Swiss, 3 from Serbia, but 4 of those 6 from the Swiss have been on target, and they have the only goal of the game so far.
See the tempo of the game now, it's just slowed ever so slightly. Serbia have had the wind taken out of their sails by Switzerland, and Switzerland are good at managing the game once they go in front.
Down that left hand side, cutting in towards the edge of the penalty area is Tadic. They need him now. Tadic chips the ball through towards Mitrovic, too direct though, straight to the feet of Akanji, who will clear by the penalty spot. Pavlovic on the far side will try and win it against Shaqiri. He does, but the ball that's laid back that time by Kostic is not the best. And now it's a chance maybe for the Swiss to go. Embolo being held there just on halfway, and that will be a free kick, no doubt about that. Velkovic.
And Bolo's done well at that today as well, when he's had to drop in and be that link player and try and get the ball on the turn. He's always in front of the defender.
I know he scored against Cameroon. Didn't seem himself that day, maybe playing against the country, of course, in which he was born, may have just impacted his performance a little, but you know, in these first 25 minutes, he's been everything you probably want Mitrovic to be up the other end.
Yeah, exactly. As you say, on that day he got the goal, but his all-round play probably wasn't the level that we expect from him. Whereas today is definitely from the first minute he's looked a lot more bright. The runs in behind, then like I said, dropping in to connect the ball, he looks a lot better.
Here comes Tadic. Mitrovic is in the middle. Vlahovic is there. Early ball into Mitrovic. What a header! What a goal! And Serbia are level. And it's that combination again. Dusan Tadic and Aleksandar Mitrovic. The Swiss led for just 6 minutes, and Mitrovic with a powerful header into the top corner past Cabell. It's Serbia 1, Switzerland 1.
and you knew it was just going to be that man, Alexander Mitrovic. This header is absolute top quality. This is top tier. It's unbelievable, and the form he's in at the moment, 8 goals now, his last 7 for Serbia in all competitions, and this is wonderful. Yes, the ball into him is good, but there's still so much to do. He has to go back across the keeper, just flicks it over him, over the keeper to the right hand side. It's absolutely wonderful from about 12 yards out. I cannot explain how difficult that skill is, and he makes it look so easy.
I was going to say to you, as someone who knows far more than me, how hard is that?
Yeah, I think when the ball's got a lot of pace and it's coming sort of towards you and you go back across the keeper, that's so much easier. But the fact that yes, there's pace on the ball, but he's got to generate that because you're going back across the other side to the keeper, almost to the other side of the goal. You've got to loop it over the keeper. It's so difficult.
Well, certainly game on here. 18 minutes remaining, still goalless between Cameroon and Brazil. Alexander Mitrovic making his mark on this World Cup. Second goal for him in these group stages, and if they get through, I think there might be more to come.
Yeah, as I said, when Switzerland scored, I think there'll be a lot more twists in the tails today. We've already got that, but again, just thinking about that Mitrovic goal, he's having to run. The timing of his run is absolutely sublime. In fact, he's running towards the ball. You just see then he stutters his step, just slows himself down so he can get good contact on the ball. It really is great to watch.
Well, Kanji was nowhere near him either, was he? He was not in the same postcode once Mitrovic made that run, and well, Gregor Kobel in for the injured, or the ill Jan Sommer, should I say. Probably never going to get anywhere near that. Sommer has been carrying an injury, but we do understand it's illness that's kept him out tonight for the Swiss, although I don't think he'd have saved that either, to be fair.
No, I don't think any keeper really is saving that. It was top right hand corner, wasn't into the side netting as well, and the keeper's come to his near post or almost to watching that cross. He's not expecting it to go back across him like that.
Down this right hand side, an opportunity now for Serbia to build once more. They've got the goal, they're buoyed. Mitrovic helping. Oh, that's poor, given away that time by Zivkovic in the middle of the park, and then Freud has done it exactly the same, and he's given it on that left hand side to Kostic, who's on the charge against Vidma, who's already in the book, of course. Freud tries to win it back and make amends for his earlier misdemeanor, and this time he's the one who's fouled by Kostic, and it will be a free kick for the Swiss midway inside their own half.
Kostic trying to plead his case there, isn't he? But doesn't. It's definitely a foul, but we're just getting a replay of this goal again, and it just gets better and better every time you see it. The timing of the run to make sure there's nowhere near a Kanji from Mitrovic is brilliant.
Looking at it again, it's not like Mitrovic has sprinted, is he? He hasn't even broken stride. It's almost like a gentle stroll across, and just Tadic knows where to put that ball.
Yeah, and that's fantastic, isn't it, in terms of when you play with a player as a forward that knows where you're going to be. Sometimes you've just got to hit quality balls in a good area. That's what happens, and as you say, you just see there's a little stutter step from Mitrovic just before, and some people think it's about how fast you can get in the box, but actually it's the timing. Can you slow yourself down quick enough to get a quick contact on the ball, and he does.
Well, that's a lovely ball through, and Shaqiri was in, and there's no offside flag, and Shaqiri has missed the target, and I'm not sure how, from 12 yards out. The assistant on the far side, well, he looked to me as though he's offside. Shaqiri's putting his arm out and saying, oh, I thought I was offside. As the ball's clipped over the top, well, it would have gone to VAR, and I think they would have found him onside, because Milos Veljkovic was playing him on, and Shaqiri, with the outside of his left foot, has put that wide.
I must admit, my initial thought he was offside, but agreed if that had gone to VAR, he'd have been onside. And can I give him the benefit of the doubt? Pavlovic was coming back over to defend, was diving in for the block, so potentially puts him off, but you're expecting Shaqiri to at least hit the target from there.
Well, this game is end to end, and I don't think we've seen the last of the goals at 1-1, that's for sure. Serbia have it on halfway. Back once more with Pavlovic. There's a little layoff from Dusan Tadic. Just goes into touch for a throw on that right hand side. An opportunity, of course, for the Swiss to get things out from deep inside their own half.
So glad that this game has lived up to expectation. there was probably no danger of it being cagey because of the manner of everything that's going on. Serbia have to win, so we know that they were going to come out, but both sides, it's been a fantastic watch. We've had goals, we've had a little bit of needle. We're only 32 minutes in.
And Bolo onto Sal, who's just clipped it over the top. The referee sees nothing in the challenge. Sal wanted a free kick. Out of play for a throw by the corner flag. Reminder, the first of the round of 16 games get underway tomorrow afternoon. Netherlands against the USA. 3 o'clock UK time, of course, and then Argentina against Australia as the 7 o'clock kickoff. I think the Netherlands against the USA might be a little more interesting than some would think. Convinced by this Dutch side so far. Shaqiri swings out to the back post, too much on it. Out of play for a goal kick away to our left-hand side, and then Argentina against Australia tomorrow night. Those scenes in Australia when they qualified. Both those games, of course, live on TalkSport, but I mean, the Australians were delirious. 3 in the morning, flares going off.
Yeah, exactly. You'd never know it was 3 in the morning, but that's, the power, isn't it, of the World Cup and how massive it is all around the world, and the joy that it can bring to people.
And then, of course, Sunday, a couple of belters for you. France against Poland, and then, of course, England against Senegal on Sunday evening. Live, of course, here on TalkSport. We're on TalkSport 2 right now. One apiece, 32 minutes played. Mitrovic does really well. Holds the ball up nicely and then gives it to Milinkovic-Savic. And now out to the right-hand side, Zivkovic on the left foot. Pings that one towards the back post. Mitrovic is coming in. Just tries to stick out a boot and keep it in, but there was too much on it. And that will be a goal kick for Switzerland away to our right-hand side. 1-1.
Yeah, it's the right idea. But it's just the ball, it had a bit too much curl on it. It just needed to be a flat ball. If that was a flat, straight ball into Mitrovic, it'd been easier for him just to play the ball back across.
Shaqiri giving the lead to Switzerland here in goals terms. He's closing in, of course, on the record that's held for the Swiss. Joseph Hugi with it, having scored 6 of the World Cup, 5 now so far. Yellow card here for Vargas. Xhaka is protesting at Ruben Vargas being booked, but he has got into the book, and that's the second Swiss player. It's for his foul on Zivkovic as well. Shaqiri, the first Swiss player to score at 3 World Cups too. Just the longevity of that man's career is extraordinary, and he probably should have had a second on the night as well.
Yeah, he should have, and like I said earlier, being directly involved in nearly 50% of the team's goals over the last 4 major tournaments, it's an unbelievable statistic, and just shows how important he is to this Swiss side.
11 minutes to go to half-time, 1 apiece. Sal, deep inside his own half, gathers possession and gives it back this time to Fabian Schär. First start of the World Cup for Schär. Oh, that's poor, given away. Now towards the edge of the penalty area. Vlahovic is waiting inside. He's got a chance to get the shot away, which he does. Vlahovic has scored for Serbia. Dusan Tadic again with the assist, and it all happened almost in slow motion inside the box. Dusan Vlahovic with his left foot into the bottom corner. 7 goals in his last 9 Serbian appearances, and they've come from behind. And with 10 minutes to go to half-time, it's Serbia 2, Switzerland 1.
What a game we've got on our hands. We're only 35 minutes in. I was talking up Shaqiri there, but I think he's the one initially that gives this ball away. Yeah, it's just a poor ball. Does so well to jump on it, Tadic. It's a little lovely ball through again. Freuler, I think he slips in the build-up. But then Vlahovic, this is why he's a top striker, because he knows where the goal is. He's not looking just with his left foot. Gets back across the keeper, it goes into the side net, and it's a wonderful finish. But he doesn't even look up, he doesn't look for the goal, he just hits it because he knows already where it is.
I think I'm being very generous giving Tadic the assist. Freuler, I think, needs the assist. Tadic's pass wasn't actually that good, but Freuler poked it into the path of Vlahovic, and like you say, just it's a no-look finish.
Yeah, it's a fantastic finish, and say when you're a forward running onto a ball like that, you know if you hit it first time and get, say, a half-decent connection on it, because it wasn't the best connection, but you know if you get a half-decent connection on it, you don't give the keeper time to move or get set, and that's what happens there. The keeper isn't set, and because, like I say, it's a slow ball, but it's accurate, so it goes into that bottom right-hand corner, and it's a really good finish.
Well, we said this could be good. We also said Dusan Tadic needed to turn up, and so far he is. 9 minutes remaining in the first half here on TalkSport 2. Serbia 2, Switzerland 1. Goals from Mitrovic and Vlahovic, cancelling out that opener from Xherdan Shaqiri. And, well, if this continues for the next 55 minutes, wow, I'm going to sleep well tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, and just thinking now back to that Shaqiri chance, the one that he missed, he should have at least been hitting the target. And then a few moments later, he goes and gives the ball away to start that move for the goal. And is it something that that chance, will he rue it come the end of this game?
As things stand, Brazil and Serbia are going through to the round of 16. That's as things stand. Akanji with it for the Swiss on halfway. They've had opportunities, so we know they're not going to take this lying down, that's for sure. Still remains 0-0 in the game between Brazil and Cameroon, by the way. They've been playing just a little more than us here. And we've got 37 on the clock.
Yeah, without a doubt. I didn't want to say earlier, when I was talking to Adrian Durham.
Oh, he's in here. Rodriguez at the byline, just about controls it, cuts it back across goal, comes out to Vargas at the edge of the box, who drills it. And that's a brilliant block by Pavelic, and the celebration as he got up. I mean, it was rammed at him from point-blank range. It must have hurt, but he's just up, celebrating immediately.
Yeah, he does so well, and as you say, he celebrates that almost like it's a goal. But as I was saying, I speak to Adrian Durham earlier, I didn't want to put my hat in the ring to say which way things were going to go tonight, but I tell you what, there's definitely more goals in this, and I won't sit on the fence with that. And it's just been a fantastic spectacle to watching Switzerland again, gone behind but back on the attack, trying to get that equaliser.
Well, I'm glad you are still sitting on the fence. A bit like Switzerland, they sit on the fence in most things, don't they, really? As we know. Out of play on this near side, and that's going to be a goal kick. Well, Ricardo Rodriguez, a couple of times now, he's got forward down that left-hand side, and he's had moments and opportunities. Obviously, one led to the goal, and there, not far away again, but there's going to be some desperate defending. It is going to be one of those games, I think, where every block is going to be celebrated in absolute style, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I think seeing that back as well, that shot coming in from Vargas, it did look like it was on target. He hit it with some venom, so the fact that Pavlovic does get in front of it, no wonder he celebrated it the way he did.
Well, Switzerland have not lost after scoring first in a World Cup since they lost to Spain in the group stages back in 1966. They're a side that when they get in front, they're very good at leading the way. But as things stand right now, they're on their way home from Qatar 2022. Brazil stand on 7 points, Serbia on 4, the Swiss on 3 and Cameroon on 2. This is what the Serbians fancied. They thought in a one-off fixture, I mean, they showed it in qualification. They had to beat Portugal in that final game when, of course, Mitrovic popped up with that winning goal in the 90th minute to send Portugal into the playoffs. When their backs are against the wall, they have quality that can deliver. And talking of quality, Tadic by the corner flag has possession, closed down by Vidma. And it goes out of play, and it's a goal kick according to the referee, much to the annoyance of Dusan Tadic, who's wringing wet, I would say, right now.
Yeah, he is, and we're just seeing the replay. Unfortunate for him, he tries a little piece of skill there in the corner, and it just ricochets back off him, so referee actually does really well with that decision. It's the right one.
Final 5 minutes of the first half here on TalkSport 2. Serbia 2, Switzerland 1, as things stand. Here's Rodriguez, midway inside his own half. Cher coming forward. Newcastle centre-half, of course. I think he may well have come in today for Elvede, who was on a booking as well, so not wanting to risk it just in case they get through. I'm sure Murat Yakin, the Swiss boss, was fairly convinced they would. Down the left-hand side is Ricardo Rodriguez again on his left foot. That's a decent cross, but it's comfortably gathered in the end by Milinkovic-Savic. And Bolo not really challenging for that one, and a chance for the Serbs to clear. And just to take this thing out now, they've got themselves in front. They'll be happy just to get to half-time, I think, with this 2-1 advantage.
Yeah, definitely. With 4 minutes left and whatever's added, they'll just want to make sure they get into that changing room at half-time in the lead, they can regroup and then think about how they're going to approach the second half. But you know, either way, that Switzerland in the second half, they're going to come out, like a bullet out of a gun, looking to get themselves that equaliser, and there'll be a lot more to come in this game, I'm sure.
3 attempts on target for Serbia, 2 goals. As for the Swiss, 4 on target, and just that single goal from Xherdan Shaqiri as the Serbs lead by 2-1. Akanji in the centre circle, gives it short that time to Captain Xhaka to the left-hand side, where Rodriguez is midway inside the Serbian half. Goes back short again to Akanji. Not too much movement up ahead of him that was impressing him, so he goes back to Xhaka, and then Vidma down that right-hand side. Early ball in to Mbolo, holds it up in the area, just then tries to lay it off towards Sao, and Xhaka couldn't get there. Keeper's put under pressure though by the advancing Sao. Gets it out from under his feet fairly swiftly as far as halfway, and then it'll be defended at the back by Scher, who goes all the way back to his keeper Kobel. In for Sommer, and we've got 3 minutes left in the first half. Still 2-1 to Serbia.
And you see Serbia dropped into a really low block then. Obviously I know they're trying to protect the ball, but you've then got to be careful. If you want to drop into a low block, you almost invite the pressure at times, and the last thing they'll want to do is concede so late in this first half.
Here's Milenkovic at the edge of his own penalty area, playing around at the back just a little bit. Velkovic gets it away for the Serbians, but only as far as Akanji, who will chest down, and Gregor Kobel, the Borussia Dortmund keeper. 8 clean sheets he's kept so far this season for Borussia Dortmund. And down this left-hand side come the Swiss, advancing beyond halfway with Gibril Sao, and now down the left-hand side. Plenty of room here again for Ricardo Rodriguez, but the ball in is along the ground and poor, and easily cleared that time by Milinkovic Savic, the midfielder of the two brothers. And then it's Tadic who gets it onto the left-hand side, and run being made by Vlahovic through the middle, and he almost got there. Important foot in from Akanji, just diverting it away from the feet of Dusan Vlahovic, just at the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, and it was a vital touch there. It looked like it was coming into Vlahovic there, into the striker's path for again for him to hit first time on his left foot, but Akanji gets there.
So now Shaqiri more central, lovely pass to Sao, lays it to Vidmar down the left-hand side, Ebola! 2-2! Ebola with a goal from about 3 yards out, the simplest of finishes after brilliant play by Shaqiri. And then down the right-hand side, the delivery from Sylvain Vidmar was on a plate for Embolo. He scores again in this World Cup, his second of the tournament. The Swiss is second on the night, and with a minute to go to half-time, it's Serbia 2, Switzerland 2.
And as a forward, this is the ball that you crave from your wide areas and your wide players. Vidmar does so well going forward. Yes, he defends well, but going forward, he offers so much to this Switzerland team. It's easy, really, for Switzerland. It's far too easy from a Serbia perspective. The ball comes across from Vidmar, and Bolo just slots it in the back of the net there. But this is the perfect ball. First time, doesn't let the defenders get set.
Well, he might not have celebrated against Cameroon. He celebrated tonight. Great finish from Breel Embolo. I mean, some would say he couldn't miss, but some have missed from there. There's no doubt about it. Well, Serbia were just looking to see it through to half-time. And again, Shaqiri just he came into a central position and ran at them, didn't he? And it was influential because it just pulled players out of position. Yeah,
exactly. Serbia at 6s and 7s in that moment. They didn't know whether to go and press him or whether to stay. And then in terms of that defensive line, it was all over the place. When the ball goes through to Vidmar, there's no line at all, and keeps himself on side, and then Vidmar does the rest in terms of he's just calm and collected. It's just the side foot, it's just a pass into an area, and then Bolo gladly collects and slots it in the back of the net. And as you say, yes, some people think he can't miss, but actually those are the chances that are harder than they look.
3 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Serbia have gone from second to bottom in the group.
Yes, it's unbelievable. You know, within a few moments, and you know, this is only the first half, and in the second half, how much more dramatic can it get?
Well, we've got 2 more minutes here in this half, and well, after what we saw in added time at the end of the first half between Cameroon and Serbia, when we saw those couple of goals, who knows? By the way, it remains 0-0 over between Cameroon and Brazil. I must remember to keep you up to date, but there's so much going on in Stadium 974. 2-2 is where we're at right now, and it's the Swiss who have possession. I think now they will both be happy to go in at half-time, knowing that we're now in a 45-minute game of football. But maybe not. Freuler down the right-hand side. Shaqiri trying to slip a ball through in the penalty area. Vargas is on the run, can't get there. And it's out of play. At this point, he looks very hot and bothered, Dragan Stojkovic. He's having to sit down. And no surprise, 2-2.
Yeah, no surprise, the look on his face there. He's exasperated, isn't he? And he's probably sat there thinking, how can I cope with another 45 minutes of this?
But I'm thinking the same, to be fair.
I must admit, it's been dramatic. Like, as you say, you're trying to keep you up to date with the Brazil game as well, but we're barely struggling to keep you up to date with this game, let alone the Brazil game.
They're into 4 added minutes in the game between Cameroon and Brazil, and it remains 0-0. I say it remains 0-0. We have a monitor here, and there's just been a terrific save to deny Cameroon a goal in that game, and it was Brian Mbeumo who had a header that was just tucked away. And I think it's all been Brazil, to be fair, but again, as we've seen in this World Cup, that means very little. Anyone who watched the first half of Spain against Japan yesterday will know that it can be a one-sided opening 45 minutes. Doesn't mean to say that's how it's going to continue. Throw down that left-hand side, taken by Pavlovic. Tadic has got away here, hooks an early ball over towards Mitrovic, who tries the shot. Deflection, he wants a handball. The referee says no, there's no handball. I think on Rodriguez he was looking for. But the referee waves it away, and we're into the last few seconds. Yeah, it's on his backside more than anything. I don't know what Mitrovic is thinking there, really. These will be the final few moments of the half, and there is the half-time whistle. And what an opening 45 minutes. We are ready to go at the start of this second half. He almost has his whistle in his lips, and we are off and running. And it's this time Serbia kicking from right to left in this second 45 minutes to get us underway. And they are all in red. The Swiss are all in white, and they are kicking from left to right. And immediately a throw down this right-hand side for the Swiss. 45 minutes for Serbia to keep their World Cup alive, and they can do it at the hands of the Swiss, who at this moment in time occupy second place and second qualification in this group. Early footing away by Pavlovic up towards halfway. Mitrovic tries to use his strength just to bully Cher out the way that time, and the ball goes into touch and out for a throw, and it will be taken down this left hand side for Serbia by Kostic, who's striding forward. Gives it short once more to Pavlovic. He'll go back inside to Veljkovic, and Serbia will look to build from the back again. They have been in fairly terrific form. They've only lost one of their last 8 games in all competitions. That was that defeat against Brazil, but their record against European sides in the World Cup is not the best. Just 1 victory in their last 5, so they're going to try and put that statistic to bed today, and certainly improve that win ratio if they're going to qualify for the last 16. Mitrovic, like a bulldozer, just strides through. He holds off Remo Freuler, but just couldn't keep possession of the ball, and that's a really good well, it looked like a fairly decent tackle. I'll stand corrected here by Courtney. Milinkovic-Savic was happy with it. He's got himself a yellow card though.
I must admit, initially from what we've just seen, it looked like he got something on the ball changed direction. We always get the benefit of the replay, and yeah, he gets quite a bit of Granit Xhaka before he gets the ball, let's put it that way. Yeah,
he got himself a yellow card there as well, of course, and that's going to be launched forward from inside their own half here by Switzerland, and it's back with Akanji looking to put it to the right hand side, where he does just feed it out here to Vidma, and now to Shaqiri back to Akanji once more. Akanji to the left hand side as forward comes Switzerland again. Rodriguez's ball over the top, is trying to find Mbolo, and Mbolo has still got the ball inside the penalty area, needs some support. It arrives with Xherdan Shaqiri at the edge of the penalty area on his left foot, dinks the ball in, lovely little layoff, wonderful finish for Freuler. What a beautiful goal for Switzerland, who have the lead, and it's Remo Freuler is the goal scorer. What a finish, what a goal. It's beautiful football from Switzerland, and Serbia find themselves behind just 3 minutes into the second half in a game they have to win. It's Serbia 2, Switzerland 3.
Such a well-worked goal. It's absolutely beautiful on the eye. It's the 1-2 touch passing. Freuler, when he eventually comes in and drives onto the ball, he's got so much time to think about this, and how many times from that area have we seen players blast the ball over from there, but he does so well. He's just calm and collected, side foots it into the net, bottom right hand corner to the left of the keeper, leaving him absolutely no chance. And I think Mbolo initially does really well here. There's a little reverse ball in there as well, little flick, and then does ever so well Freuler just to keep it down. He gets his knee over the ball, doesn't thrash at it, but still gets a good connection nonetheless, and it's the little flick from Vargas that probably lights up that move.
And that's it, isn't it? It's the flick from Vargas into Freuler with his left foot, two around him, and just finishes it beautifully into the bottom corner. Absolutely nothing there that Milinkovic-Savic could do about it. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. Wow. Just 3 minutes into the second half, Freuler has his 6th goal for his country. And they're on the attack again now. And, well, Serbia have got to respond. They had to respond to that early goal from Shaqiri. They did. It's how they come out in this second half.
Yeah, they're going to need to. They knew that they needed to go for it anyway, because they need to win, but even more so now they're behind. They need the 2 goals, and I think in terms of a Switzerland perspective, that's exactly what they would have wanted at the start of this second half, and now it just gives them a bit of room to breathe.
Here comes Serbia down that right-hand side. Swiss lead by 3 goals to 2 here on TalkSport 2. All the way back with the goalkeeper, Milinkovic-Savic, away to our right-hand side. I mean, it's a lovely football goal. Again, Shaqiri right in the heart of it for the Swiss once more. That vision that he's got.
Yeah, it's lovely, and Bolo initially does really well, and then, as you say, Shaqiri, it's a little dinked reverse ball into Vargas, a lovely flick with it's with the outside of the foot, and then Freuler does ever so well. And what I like about it is he puts the ball back across where it's come from. That wrong foot's the keeper, and it's so difficult then for the keeper to get back down to his left hand side. And yeah, it's one of those goals that's just so pleasing on the eye to watch.
First World Cup goal for Remo Freuler. Problem here at this moment in time for Andrea Zivkovic. I think it's Rodriguez that's caused it as he tried to make a clearance. It remains 0-0 between Cameroon and Brazil over on TalkSport. 6 minutes into the second half there. As things stand, Switzerland are on their way through. In second place in this group. And that, of course, will get them a tie against Portugal. Edge of their own penalty area. Punted forward for the Swiss that time by Fabian Schär, and they can almost sit back a little bit now. They've got themselves back in front, and all the work will be on the Serbians, which I mean could potentially mean they could be picked off.
Yeah, exactly. It just gives Switzerland, in my opinion, that room to breathe. Now they are very much in control of this game, and as you say, as Serbia have to go forward, they have to probe and be more expansive. That's even more so that Switzerland can then exploit whatever the gaps that they leave behind.
Here's Kanji picking it up for Schär just inside his own half. Gets it forward to Granit Xhaka, who's over halfway on that left-hand touchline. It's Vargas. Holds possession with Rodriguez, and again, all a little bit more cautious and not quite as quick here from the Swiss. But now trying to work it is Freuler again. Not really seen him in too many goal-scoring opportunities for Nottingham Forest since he joined them, but it really was a delightful little finish for the Swiss. Referee not happy, and a blow of the whistle again, and this time the foul as the clash between Mbolo and Pavlovic is penalised by Fernando Rapellini, as we get treated on our monitors once more to another view. We do tend to get every camera angle going, and that one from Freuler, completely wrong foot in the keeper.
Yeah, and it's the flick from Vargas as well. He knows exactly what he's doing. That's definitely by design. And as I say, the fact that when Freuler hits it, he goes back across where the ball's come from, and it's just so difficult in that position for a keeper to be able to shift their body weight sort of twice, because he's already following the ball, and it's a really nice controlled finish.
Shaqiri had a very deliberate celebration in the corner after that wonderful bit of build-up play. Shaqiri with a hand in every goal so far for the Swiss. He's certainly turning up on this occasion. May not have the assists for two of the goals, but he's played a massive part in each of the second and third goals for the Swiss side.
Yeah, exactly. And what I love about Shaqiri is it's the pockets that he picks up. He always finds himself in a little bit of space, and then we know he's got the quality to be able to find his teammates, and we've seen that tonight.
Well, we know why this fixture means so much to him, and he's turning it on when required, Xherdan Shaqiri. But Mitrovic helps Tadic, who gets caught late, and that's going to be a free kick. Tadic goes down. Granit Xhaka is penalised. Tries to encourage Tadic to get up, but I don't think there's any doubt that there is some contact there. Not the toughest of challenges that you'll see Granit Xhaka give. But
I just love watching him. I think he's great, because even when it's a foul, he's still pleading the innocence. It's always interesting to watch him.
Oh, we are seeing a couple of changes here, though, for the Swiss. No surprise, and we're going to see a first appearance in the tournament for Luka Jovic, who's going to come on to replace Vlahovic, and Veljkovic is gone off as well, and we're going to see the introduction of Nemanja Gude as well. So a couple of changes for Serbia. We'll see how that changes shape. They know they need goals. So Luka Jovic is on, first appearance of the tournament. Clip forward, helped on his way inside the penalty area, going to try and turn, and almost got an opportunity straight away at the edge of the 6-yard box, and that's really good defending on that occasion. It may have been Milinkovic-Savic who was going to get the shot. Kostic will have the throw on this near side. It was good work that time by Cher. Comes out on this near side towards Kostic at the edge of the penalty area. He can't get there, and Bolo goes down and is penalised for the challenge again. And it's waved in the path of Pavlovic, who goes into the book. Yellow card for Pavlovic, so a couple for each side now, which in such a tense game may have a bearing as things progress. So as we stand, Switzerland are going through with Brazil. That's where we stand right now here on TalkSport 2 in Group G. Here come the Swiss looking for a four. They want handball, which is given again against Pavlovic, and he needs to be careful. Just been booked. In fact, it may have been a touch in the end, I think, off Lukic that time. But it's a free kick. Dangerous position for the Swiss. It's about 15 yards outside the penalty area. Yeah,
and you're just seeing the game as well. It's starting to get a little bit scrappy. There's still a fair amount of time left in the second half. It probably is obviously wears on. Serbia will start to get a little bit desperate. It will start to get scrappy, and then that's where Switzerland will need the cool heads and need the experience of their big players.
Simple. We have 11 minutes played in the second half, so 34 minutes remaining. Serbia need at least 2 goals if they're going through in this World Cup. Here's the free kick though for the Swiss. Oh, lovely quick one taken down the right hand side. Akanji tries to deliver it in. He will with his left foot this time, and it's met on the volley and the driven shot, and then Polo's put it over the bar from about 6 yards out. Well, I'm not sure how he's missed that. The ricochet fell to him. He poked out a right boot and just got too much on it in the end. Akanji on the right hand side of the box delivered it in, but it may well have been in an offside position, or it may have been his saving grace, because there was certainly no attempt to play the ball by the Serbian defender. But it doesn't matter, because he didn't score. It doesn't count. Tadic is brought down, and that's going to be a free kick. Shaqiri with a challenge.
Going back to that though from Mbolo, he's got to be hitting the target. It's one of those where he's so close, it's almost harder to miss than it is to score. I don't know how he completely misses the target with that, but say if it went to VAR, I think he looks just off, so might just about save his blushes.
57 minutes played on TalkSport 2. Serbia 2, Switzerland 0. Serbia need goals. Tadic takes this one short. Kostic, left-footed, swings it in, bounces through the 6-yard box, and had a play for a goal kick.
Really, really good ball. Really good ball, and it's behind the defensive line. It's a lot of pace, got lots of whip on it. It just needs someone to throw their body at that. But no Serbia player in and around.
Only Costa Rica have conceded more goals at this World Cup than Serbia. They've conceded 8 so far. Costa Rica, of course, nearly got through, having conceded 11. So it's still open for Serbia, that's for sure. Left-footed ball swung over here, though, by the Swiss to Shaqiri. 25 yards from goal. On this right-hand side, on his left foot, tried to take it around Pavlovic, but Pavlovic recovered his position quite nicely. Here's Tadic, just outside the centre circle. Has support from Milinkovic-Savic, who turns back inside, and there it's brought forward by Goudet, Nemanja Goudet, who's come on into that. But he's usually a kind of combination player of a defensive midfielder or a centre-back, and he's sitting there as the middle of those three, but I think we're going to see him maybe playing a little bit further forward in this search for a goal.
Yeah, exactly. I think now it's obviously stick or twist for Serbia, and they've got to twist, they've got to go forward, they've got to try and get the 2 goals, and as you see, as this is wearing on, it's just starting to get more and more scrappy, and it's playing into the hands of Switzerland so far. But again, the momentum of this game can change so quickly, and a goal from Serbia and it completely changes the dynamic of the game again.
Still goalless, approaching the hour mark in the game between Cameroon and Brazil over on Talk Sport right now. That remains 0-0. Halfway for the Swiss with Shaqiri on that left foot of his. He's driven that one across towards the edge of the penalty area. Vargas was on the charge, couldn't win the header, tries to win the second ball, but it's gathered by Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. He's a little bit unhappy with the fact that Vargas chose to barge him. It's quite a brave call from Vargas. He's certainly the smaller of the 2 men.
Yeah, exactly. It's I think he's definitely the mismatch in that one.
Here come Serbia over halfway with Milinkovic-Savic infield again, trying to pick out a good run that time down this left-hand side by Kostic. Kostic has the ball, left-footed, swung towards the back post, and was taken down by Jovic inside the penalty area. Back across towards Mitrovic. Mitrovic lets it run for Tadic, who, as it was bouncing, hit the shot and over the top of the bar.
Yeah, you can see clearly that Tadic, he calls for that ball. Mitrovic is about to go for it and just sort of dips his shoulders, and then Tadic, as it comes to him, it's difficult because it's bouncing up to try and keep that ball down, but nonetheless someone of his quality, you're expecting him to do better.
So his thumbs up to Dusan Tadic, to the supporters and to the rest of his teammates. Half an hour for Serbia to save their World Cup. They trail by 3-2, having led literally a minute before half time by 2-1. Topsy-turvy game, and that goal by Freuler 3 minutes into the second half has absolutely stunned this Serbian side. There's room here for Vidma down this right hand side, finds Shaqiri, then he's on the overlap, back to Shaqiri on that left foot of his, off the angle of the box, near touchline, going to go after it, but Mitrovic is going to get there first and moving out wide to the right hand side. Nice little ball through the legs of the referee there, and that's poor as he drives forward that time, trying to get into a decent position. Zivkovic just giving it away, so he was deep inside the Swiss half. It's back with Cabell. Well, aside from the goals, doesn't really have a save to make. Vidma's fouled by Kostic on this near side. Mitrovic isn't happy. That makes a change. Free kick.
Vidma does well, to be fair. He sees the challenge coming in, gets his body in the way and takes the foul, but it's a good job because Cabell, the way that Switzerland have played out from the back there, Cabell was well out of the position of his goal, and if Serbia were to win it back there, they would have been bearing down on the Switzerland goal.
As things stand, Portugal against Switzerland will be at the Lusail Stadium. It'll be the last of the round of 16 ties on Tuesday, 10 o'clock local time, 7 o'clock time in the UK, of course. And it will be Brazil against South Korea, I think, as things stand. I will check that. So obviously the more goals the Swiss keep scoring, the more interesting it may well become. At the moment, Brazil, of course, getting a point to give them 7 points. It's only if they're losing to Cameroon that becomes an issue for the Brazilians. Here, time-wise, 63 minutes on the clock. It's ticking down on Serbia and their participation in Qatar 2022. Rodriguez with a throw on halfway on that left-hand side. One of a trio of Swiss players today, of course, who has found their way to 11 World Cup appearances, but that's a dreadful throw from him, straight to Tadic. Tadic then drives forward and puts play out here to Mitrovic at the edge of the penalty area. Mitrovic back into Tadic, 25 yards from goal, out wide to this left-hand side. Ball drawn across the 6-yard box, spilled by the keeper as it was put in that time by Filip Kostic, but he gathers it the second attempt.
Well, you can see what he's trying to do is the right idea. He's just trying to bend it round that back line. Mitrovic is bearing down and Cabell there, but it's just slightly too close to the keeper, half a yard the other way, and Mitrovic is probably tucking that away, and it's the equaliser.
Don't forget as well, you can come and join us in the TalkSport fan zone. We're showing every single game from Qatar live in our massive venue near London's Waterloo. If you're in and around London, you can get in for free to all daytime group matches in this opening phase. There has been on the knockout stages. You can get yourself tickets as well for the last 16 games. Head to talksport.com/fanzone right now. You do need to be over the age of 18 to enter the fan zone. That's talksport.com/fanzone now. Come and join us. Of course, England playing on Sunday evening from 5 o'clock. All the build-up on TalkSport, the game against Senegal in the round of 16 here across the TalkSport network with our wall-to-wall coverage of the World Cup. Plenty of good podcasts as well. There's H&J, of course, and, well, White and Jordan as well. Here's Mitrovic inside the penalty area. He goes down once the penalty. Referee waves it away. He chested the ball down and was about maybe to get the opportunity to shoot. And the challenge from Fabian Schär, and Mitrovic with a bit of cramp in his left leg. But the request for the penalty waved away by Fernando Rapellini from Argentina.
We're getting a view of it here. No, Mitrovic is silly there. I think there could be a handball in there though, potentially. I think the cramp is the thing that takes him down. But in that position, I don't know why he's trying to play for the penalty when he's probably 7 yards out. If he can get a touch on that, I think it's a goal.
Well, that's an outrageous dive. There's a little touch on his shoulder, but it's the fact he delays the moment before he goes down. Now, the Serbian substitutes are all off the bench in fury. I mean, we saw this at the end of the game earlier today between Uruguay in their encounter, of course, with Ghana, and that Uruguayan officials were absolutely livid about the fact that the penalty was not given. And now we've got the scene that we really didn't want to see. Dragan Stojkovic is having to get the substitutes back onto the bench, and now there's a wall of the white Switzerland shirts coming over towards the substitutes, and there is fury. If only they could see the replay and see what an embarrassment Mitrovic just was in the way he threw himself to the ground, and then maybe they wouldn't be quite so furious.
Well, exactly. The fact they've seen him go down with cramp as well, and this is an acceptable scene, even if it was a stonewall penalty. But for the fact that Mitrovic, whether it's the cramp and also the dive, the way that he goes down to then bring this sort of disrepute moment into the game, it's just silly, because realistically it's only harming Serbia as well in terms of halting the momentum that they just built up.
Well, we have seen a yellow card as well, just shown to Rakovic, and Granit Xhaka as well was getting involved. We knew he wouldn't keep his temper properly in this game. The passion rising in this game for sure, but a yellow card was shown, and still the discussions continue. The referee not happy. They've had 66, almost to the midway point of this second half. They're trying to make a change here as well, Serbia. Maksimovic is the player that's going to come on. He was left out of the starting 11 today, of course. And the ball punted in the air by the Swiss, and the referee just saying to Schär. And the change is going to be Milinkovic-Savic coming on. And we do see the man Maksimovic, who missed out on the starting 11 today, coming onto the field of play. We've got the last quarter of this game. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3 as things stand. And it means Switzerland are through and Serbia are going out. What can they do about it? They need at least 2 goals. Kostic into the feet of Jovic, and then just lays it off to Tadic, but a little awry with the pass, and it's Switzerland's throw midway inside their own half. TalkSport 2, of course, the TalkSport network providing you wall-to-wall coverage of this World Cup, and then tomorrow night as well, just stepping away from that for our heavyweight clash Tyson Fury, as Fernandez is coming on here, and he's going to replace Saus. This is clearly a defensive move for the Swiss. Tomorrow on TalkSport, of course, we will bring you live and exclusive radio commentary of the fight, the trilogy fight between Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora. Top team, of course, led by Adam Catterall, Gareth A. Davies, Spencer Oliver as well, part of our team. Andy Clark, your commentator as well. We look forward to that tomorrow night. Promises to be a belter. Weigh in earlier today as well. Shaqiri is coming on. Zakaria is coming on for his first appearance in this World Cup. It's Lewis and Fernandez, the former West Ham man. Dennis Zakaria, of course, now at Chelsea. And it's Sau and Shaqiri that are going off. So two very defensive moves for the Swiss.
Yeah, and I think everything that's just happened as well, the Swiss will be watching that almost quite happy. Serbia almost going into self-implode with that moment. It's halted the momentum for sure. Serbia and Switzerland then are happy they can take a moment, make some substitutions, go more defensive, although Shaqiri there is not very happy with that. He's banging the side of the dugout, so he's not overly happy with being brought off, but I think it's a wise move to try and go defensive now for the Swiss.
No, he's furious about that decision, not understanding they are in control of this game. They lead 3-2 and they're in control of their own destiny in terms of qualification as well. 21 minutes to go. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. Still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, of course. And Brazil topping the table, and they will play Korea. Maybe now a chance for Pavlovic down that left-hand side. Kostic, can he deliver a good ball across the penalty area? Off Zakaria, who gets his first involvement in the game, and then so does Fernandez to clear the ball. Gets it only as far as Maksimovic. Has another touch and inside the centre circle. It's with Milenkovic now for Serbia. Down that right-hand side. Back again with Milenkovic. Forward it comes from Maksimovic. Pavlovic to the right. Lovely ball as well. Really nice one for Zivkovic. On his left foot, swings that one into the penalty area. Mitrovic goes up. Can't quite get there, but he's penalised for the foul.
Yeah, it's a good ball in, good in-swinging delivery. I mean, there's 6 or 1.5 dozen of the air. Vidmar's got his arms in the back of Mitrovic as well, so I think that one's quite soft, but now you'll imagine that Serbia, they're going to have to try and throw the kitchen sink at it, and Bolo I'm looking at specifically, he's going to be in for a shift now. When the ball goes up to him, he's got to make sure that he helps his Swiss teammates out, keep the ball, be that link player, so it can just take the pressure off the Swiss.
One of those moments there where Mitrovic was being marched front and back. We know how dangerous he is in the air, but he's got some space here down the left-hand side into the penalty area on his right foot. Mitrovic tries the shot, but it was blocked from a yard away. He had 2 defenders around him when there was possibly better options available to him. And Bolo's done well to keep control of that on halfway. He's got close attention from Gudek, and he gives it out wide to that left-hand side. And the Swiss are on the attack here. They've got 4 bodies forward as well. Down that left-hand side with Vargas. Vargas gets it back to Xhaka. Xhaka clips the ball in towards Embolo, takes a deflection, and it's going to have to be gathered by Milinkovic-Savic in the Serbian goal. And with 19 minutes remaining here, Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. Serbia need goals.
Yeah, they need the goals, but they're going to throw everything at it. But Mitrovic now with that cramp, when he just got on that ball a few seconds earlier, I'm not sure he was in his full stride. I think he's a bit worried about that, and now you're seeing this Swiss shape. It's 4 at the back, 4 in the midfield, and then a 1 and a 1. It's almost dropping to a 5 in midfield actually, so they're just getting numbers behind the ball and making it so difficult for Serbia. Yeah,
Zakaria has gone and sat in there amongst Xhaka and Freuler as well. And Bolo then the lone raider up top. Right-footed ball in though for Serbia towards Jovic, couldn't find him. It's on that far touchline, onto the left foot here of a delivery from Zivkovic, but headed clear comfortably to Milenkovic on halfway. He's got no option but to go back to Milinkovic-Savic. And they'll build again, this time maybe on this left-hand side with Pavlovic, who decides no, he's going to go to Nemanja Gudek instead. Little ponytail and beard, comes forward over halfway. Serbia just need to have some time with possession of the football, which they've got here with Sasha Lukic. Pavlovic in towards Mitrovic. Dispossessed, but Back to Pavlovic again. Now Mitrovic down this left-hand side. Wants some support. Tries to play it through two bodies. He's making some bad choices now, Mitrovic, which can often be a sign of tiredness when you start making bad decisions, and also when you're getting quite desperate for a goal.
Yeah, he took the words out of my mouth. I don't think he looks so fatigued at this moment in time. Obviously the cramp as well will tell you that physically he's exhausted. Taken a lot out of this play, as you can see the sweat dripping from all of them in these conditions. You know, nutrition and there's hydration as well. It's got to be spot on, and it's so much more difficult in these conditions.
Zakaria just gives it to Vargas. Vargas back to Rodriguez, just outside his own penalty area down that left-hand side. A couple of good touches though as he gets it forward to Mbolo in the centre circle. He encourages the challenge from Nemanja Gude, who upends Mbolo, no doubt about it, and that's going to be a free kick for the Swiss inside the centre circle, and that's very little for this Serbian side in their quest to get back on terms in this game.
No, and that's fantastic centre forward play from Mbolo. That's what I was talking about a few moments earlier. He's got to always be available, get himself on the ball in between, get himself between the defender and take the fouls. Although the ball just come into him, tries a little flick round the corner, he needs to keep possession for his side.
Forward by Lukic towards Tadic, but Zakaria is on, and Zakaria does what's required. First appearance at this World Cup. He finds Mbolo, and now down the right hand side the Swiss will go forward with Fernandez, and also on this near touchline Vidma gives it infield again to Zakaria. Just takes a moment, very composed on the ball. Zakaria, not seen much of him of course at Chelsea as yet. There's no doubting his qualities. Vargas infield to Xhaka at the edge of the penalty area. Zakaria trying to work his way through, but Serbian intervention means that it's away by Milinkovic-Savic. Only out on that far side though, and the flow will be Switzerland's 10 yards inside the Serbian half. Quarter of an hour left here on TalkSport 2. It's Serbia 2, Switzerland 3.
Like watching Zakaria since he's come on, and the impact that he's had on the game, even though he's not been on a long time, but he's just bringing a bit of composure now to this Switzerland side. And when you want to take this thing out of the game, try and halt the Serbia momentum, he's done that well. He just does the simple things and does the basics really well.
Well, we always say goals change games, but the timing of them is critical, isn't it? And that goal literally 1 minute before half time just seems to have swung the whole momentum of this fixture in Switzerland's way, and following it up with a goal just 3 minutes into the second half as well. Serbia are desperate now, 15 minutes remaining, but they will know, based on what we've seen in the last few days, that all is not lost with quarter of an hour remaining. Yeah,
exactly, and like I say, the goals in those vital times around the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes in each of the halves, for psychology it does really feel a lot different, but there's still a long way in this game to go.
There is. Mitrovic tries to win that one inside the penalty area, but the foul had already been given after the cross came in from Milenkovic, and the challenge from Luka Jovic penalised by the referee on Zakaria again, and it's going to be a free kick for the Swiss. And there's some very disappointed looking Serbian faces around Stadium 974 right now. We're going to see another change here. We're going to see Filip Đurić coming on. In fact, we're going to see a double change. We're going to see Nemanja Radovic as well, who's entering the fray. Radonic wearing the number 7. But the referee not happy to make those changes just yet. He's still on the sidelines ready to appear. Interesting to see who they come on for. I mean, you cannot take Mitrovic off, can you, when you need a goal?
No, and that's the thing, even though he looks exhausted, you know that if he's in the right position, if you get a quality delivery into the box, that he's going to do the job for you. So you almost sacrifice him, keep him up the pitch, don't let him do too much running, and just get him in the danger area.
Dusan Tadic is one of the players who is departing, and he's going to be replaced by number 21, Filip Đurić. And Radonic is on. And he's going on for Zivkovic, who will depart as well. 4 changes in total so far then for Serbia as they go in search of goal. Dusan Tadic looks a frustrated figure. The impact he had in that first half was excellent. Not quite been able though in this second half to bring Serbia forward and create opportunities in quite the manner that he did in the opening 45 minutes, which was, you know, an enthralling opening 45 minutes. But that early goal in the second half has very much put Switzerland in the ascendancy here. And here they are down the right hand side once more. First touch of the game for Radonic. Giving it infield to Lukic. Lukic out wide to this left hand side, 25 yards from goal. Just drops that one in short. And an opportunity now down this left hand side for Kostic to play it in, but it's cleared. And I think well, there could be a problem. Pavlovic here has been accused of leaving that one in a little bit late on Fabian Schär. Schär has caught Pavlovic as well. Very much 6 to 1.5 a dozen of the other, but it's a Swiss free kick.
Yeah, it's just the momentum there. Pavlovic is trying to block the ball, and momentum takes him through. But still, regardless, when you're on a yellow card, you've got to be careful.
11 minutes left in the game between Cameroon and Brazil. That's still 0-0 over on TalkSport right now. So it's Brazil and Switzerland that are going through. Are we going to have more World Cup late drama in these final round of group games before the business end of the round of 16 gets underway tomorrow? Long one forward here for the Swiss. Looking for Mbolo, 10 yards outside the Swiss penalty area, but the header clear was a decent one. Referee thought about blowing up, but he lets play go. Granit Xhaka then is clattered into from behind. Shoulder first that time by Sasha Lukic. And that's going to be a free kick for the Swiss inside the centre circle.
For me, that sort of sums up Serbia in this second half. There's been a lack of quality, a lack of composure. And it's been a scrappy from them when you need your big players to step up, when you need to be calm on the ball. They seem to struggle with that, and yes, you need urgency to go forward and try and get the equaliser, but it's boiled over a little bit too much for me.
Filip Juric has been made to leave the field of play here with a nasty cut under his left eye. Came when he went up for a challenge with Freuler, I think, leading the way. He's remonstrating with the fourth official, saying, well, why wasn't it a foul then? But he's obviously needs to get treatment, can't play with all that blood, and there's a foul there at the edge of the penalty area on Mbolo as the ball was clipped through towards the edge of the box. He's wrestled to the ground that time by Nemanja Gudej, and he's given a free kick here in a really dangerous position. Gudej gets his second card of the tournament, so if they do progress he'll miss the round of 16, but I mean it's a ridiculous foul to give away in that position.
Yeah, it's like something out of a wrestling move for me. He literally wrestles him to the ground, but again, Mbolo in the second half, when he's been on the ball, it's been few and far between because they've been under pressure for a lot of this second half of Swiss, but he's done ever so well when the ball's come into him. He's made it stick, he's drawn fouls, he's brought other Swiss players into play. He's done extremely well.
Here is the free kick then for the Swiss. It's to the right of the D, so it suits the very much left foot of Granit Xhaka. 22 yards out. Akanji is lurking around it as well, so is Schär. Mitrovic is coming out remonstrating with the referee. Mitrovic has got himself a yellow card as well. Frustration is absolutely boiling over, and the referee here is having to deal with some real ill discipline from this Serbian side. We've seen it before, things not going their way and they're not happy. Another yellow card this time then for Mitrovic. Lukic is on the floor, Akanji's over it, Xhaka's over it. It's going to be Akanji with his right foot into the side netting. Well, I'm really surprised Xhaka didn't have a go. If ever there's a game he wants to get on the score sheet, it's this one.
Yeah, me too. It was perfect positioning, in my opinion, for the left footer. Little one that's a work one. It's into Xhaka. He stops the ball, and then Akanji tries to change the angle on it, but it's poor from the Switzerland perspective.
They need to keep that discipline here, Serbia. Chase on here for Gudej. Just met that time by Milinkovic and Savic with the pressure from Mbolo coming. Milinkovic-Savic then gets it forward. Mitrovic wins the header, spins towards the edge of the penalty area, looking for Jovic, can't get there. Rodriguez gets the clearance, and it's off Jovic and out of play for a throw to Switzerland on the far side.
Switzerland now managing the game, doing everything they can within the rules to try and slow it down.
5 yellow cards in the game for Serbia so far. Vargas has gone off, and he's been replaced by Fasnacht, who's come on to enter the fray. And he's too happy of Vargas about going off. He wasn't particularly keen, but Christian Fasnacht is on. First World Cup for him. Now down that left-hand side. Switzerland on the attack. Freuler, edge of the penalty area. Freuler trying to just keep possession. Out of play it goes, and it will be a throw-in to Serbia. Not happy about it is Christian Fasnacht in that occasion. Serbia get it forward though towards Mitrovic inside the centre circle, who can't win the header. Zakari's been excellent in there since he come on, and again he's there defensively sweeping up for the Swiss.
Yeah, he has. He's just been in the right place at the right time. His positioning's been spot on, and then, you know, when he has won the ball back, he's just found a Switzerland shirt. He's done the simple things extremely well.
Nemanja Gude out wide to the left-hand side to Pavlovic. Pavlovic through the centre. That's come off the referee, so that will be a drop ball. Jovic a little frustrated, and you can see the frustration. I mean, he's offered very little since he come on. I mean, he's not been in bad form domestically, but no goal in 7 in the World Cup qualifying campaign to get them here. He's just not looking in the shape that we're used to, or the goal-scoring nature, of course, after his poor time at Real Madrid. Touching field down this left-hand side for Kostic, but again it breaks into the middle of the park where Maksimovic picks it up, goes back to Gude, and now down the right-hand side it's with Milenkovic. To the left with Pavlovic, just short of halfway, closed down by Fernandez, spins play with his right foot forward down towards the head of Jovic, who gets the flick on, but it's going to be shepherded out by Rodriguez. Radonic will close it down, but out of play for a goal kick to the Swiss. 5 minutes plus time added on remaining here, and Serbia really have to pull something out of the bag.
They have to. I think there'll be a considerable amount of added time because of the melee that we saw, you know, earlier on in the second half, but I just think time is now starting to run out. And the big thing for me in the second half, Switzerland have just shown far more composure both in and out of possession. Serbia, yes, that you need the urgency because you want to get yourself back in front, but there's been too much panic within that urgency.
Remains Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, with 4 minutes left in the other Group G game that's going on this evening in Qatar. So as things stand, the Swiss on 6 points in second place will join Brazil. Cameroon are on 2. Cameroon were to score a goal and lead the way, it still wouldn't make any difference, unfortunately, for Cameroon. And all the time the Swiss are winning this game, of course. Here is Pavlovic in the centre circle, forward to Jovic, who tries to clip it down this near touchline towards Kostic, who'd made a run towards the corner flag, but it's blocked out by Fernandez. Luka Jovic again, in towards Mitrovic. Spins almost fortuitously for Sasha Lukic that time, but thumped clear from the edge of the penalty area as far as Milinkovic-Savic. And now with Pavlovic again, and Serbia looking for an outlet, and they need to find one, and they need to find a goal, and they've got 3.5 minutes plus added time to do that. Gude, infield he goes to Milenkovic. Pavlovic over halfway, early ball, easily blocked out. Fernandez gets it, thinks about coming forward into the feet of Embolo, who's been incredibly quiet in this half because he hasn't needed to do much. When he's got the ball, he's held it up, and that's all they've needed of him.
Yeah, exactly. In terms of, you know, the dirty work of the game that the forwards sometimes have to do, that's what he's had to do in this second half. He just had to get himself in the way, hold the ball up, draw fouls, and it's, you know, it's not the most spectacular of jobs, but he's done it ever so well.
Goodmer again has been impressive down this right-hand side for the Swiss, who lead here by 3 goals to 2. 2.5 minutes remaining. They're into the round of 16 on TalkSport 2. The round of 16 underway tomorrow afternoon. Netherlands against the USA, Argentina against Australia. Just showing the breadth of where we are in this World Cup with those that have qualified for that round of 16. Of course, France against Poland on Sunday, followed by England against Senegal as well. Across the TalkSport network, every game of this FIFA World Cup is live. Final 2 minutes, Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. Arms folded and worried faces in the crowd of the Serbian supporters. And Granit Xhaka will buy every foul that's going. They've taken the free kick. Zakaria out to the right-hand side with Fernandez. Back inside once more to Vidna. Here's Fernandez again. Going back towards halfway. Well, most of these last group games, they've not had the most enthralling first halves. The second halves have been the exciting elements. We seem to have got that the other way around here today. The second half, because of the timing of those Swiss goals, has not quite provided the drama that we had in the opening 45 minutes. Zakaria into the feet of Mbolo again. For his Fernandez. There's room out wide on the left-hand side. Here's a wonderful opportunity to kill the game entirely. And it took some really good defending and goalkeeping from Milinkovic-Savic, who was alert to the danger. Christian Pasnak was feeling that, well, on his World Cup debut, he was about to get his first goal.
Yeah, it's the initial first touch from Pasnak. It's just in front of him and it bobbles. It's not great. And then that just gives Milinkovic-Savic the opportunity to come out. He's on his front foot so quickly though, he does ever so well, and then when he does come out, he spreads himself big to make it difficult, but it's the first touch there that lets Pasnak down.
Last 30 seconds plus added time to come here. Serbia need 2 goals. And however much their support try to rouse them, they don't look like coming. Milinkovic-Savic out wide down that right-hand side. Really decent ball that's picked up by Radonic. Radonic has got 2 rounding him immediately, and a lack of support as well, but he's still going here, Radonic. He's done brilliantly. On that right-hand side, still tries to get the crossover, and instead he'll take the throw for his team.
He spins in and out. When he spins back in and he's on his left foot, I think he just needs to swing it in there. He tries to get back onto his right foot, but fighting a losing battle and runs out of space.
And Bolo tries to just skip past Goudet, but instead it comes down to Pavlovic, who thinks about being a hero and taking a shot for a moment there. There's 7 minutes added time at the end of this game. 7 minutes for Serbia to try and score 2 goals. Pavlovic to the right-hand side. Lukic. Pavlovic 40 yards out from goal. Lukic again. Surely he's got to load this into the box. He does. He's looking for Mitrovic, who gets a head on it, but he almost heads it nowhere. And Fernandez will lay it off to Mbolo, who's closed down immediately. Slips over as he releases the pass, and here's Christian Pasnak down that left-hand side towards the edge of the penalty area. Freuler's in there with him. Pasnak still going towards the byline. He's got 2 round him, but he's just kept hold of the ball, which is all the Swiss will ask at this point in the game. And it's back towards halfway with Rodriguez. Now it's Akanji. Very professional second half performance from the Swiss once they got themselves in front.
I think they've done extremely well. They've kept cool heads in the big moments, and as I say, that's the difference between the two sides today in terms of managing the big moments in the game. The Swiss have just done that better.
Fernandez tries to get the better that time of Pavlovic out of play for a throw to Serbia. Level with their own penalty area down this left-hand side. And in added time, at the end of the game, Cameroon have scored against Brazil. They lead by a goal to nil. Cameroon leading Brazil in the 92nd minute. Quite unbelievable. We did say, as that's a flicked header that just goes over the top of the bar, you can never rely on anything. However, anyone may have said, yeah, but it's Brazil against Cameroon in this World Cup. It counts for nothing. Absolutely nothing.
All bets go out the window in this 2022 World Cup, don't they?
They certainly do. And Rigobert's song is even on the pitch, celebrating as that one's hit the back of the net. Wow. I mean, it doesn't do them any good right now because Switzerland are on 6 points, but obviously a yellow card is coming out. Oh, and a red card as well in that game. And it's because he's taken off his shirt to celebrate, and it's a second yellow card. Oh, wow. Vincent Aboubakar has scored, taken his shirt off, and has got a second yellow card.
I mean, you can't help it when the emotion takes over. It's obviously such a big moment for him. Obviously he doesn't probably know what's going on in the other game, but to get sent off, it's silly knowing you're on a yellow card, but sometimes that emotion just takes over.
Oh, doesn't it just? Back here then, Serbia 2, Switzerland 3, 4 minutes remaining. 4 minutes for Switzerland to see this game out and qualify for the round of 16. Oh, and there we go. We knew it was coming at some point, didn't we? And it had to be Granit Xhaka that's involved, and Milenkovic as well. And at this point, Milinkovic-Savic is wading in, and we have 10 to 12 players are all now arguing. And, well, Xhaka and Milenkovic were the two that started that. Zakaria stepped in, good A's there. Akanji is just saying to them all to calm down, and it'll be interesting to see what the referee and VAR make of this one, Courtney.
Yeah, I think there's a few heads that have gone into this, and once you start doing that, putting your head in the way, you're always in a precarious position. It's still going on. It's sort of started round 2 now. Mitrovic and Xhaka now.
Well, we knew Mitrovic was going to get involved, didn't we? And we knew Xhaka would probably be in the heart of it as well. And then Bolo's just saying to Alexander Mitrovic, why have you bothered to get involved? He's being spoken to. The best thing the Swiss could do would probably be to take Granit Xhaka off, I would think, to protect him at this stage. Mitrovic has already been booked, of course, which could cause his a problem. And you can hear there is words coming from the fourth official in the VAR, and it's yellow cards for both then, for Milenkovic and for Granit Xhaka. It was never going to end pretty, really, was it?
No, and it's still bubbling over now. Xhaka's on the wind-up, but he's got to then pull himself out of this situation now. There's more to think about. It looks like the Swiss are going to go through, barring something spectacular, and he's putting himself in a silly position.
Well, I think Zakaria is making the argument to the referee to say that there should be a yellow card as well for Mitrovic, but I don't think that's going to happen. We are 5 minutes into the 7 that have been added, and there's going to be a substitution. And, well, if they've got any sense, it's Granit Xhaka. But it's not. It's Mbolo that's coming off. Clearly they have no sense. Mbolo, scorer of the second goal in this game for the Swiss, right on the stroke of half-time, and really the game changer, I think. There's no doubt about that. So we've had 5.5 minutes of the 7 here at the game between Cameroon and Brazil. They've had 6 of 9 added minutes. Cameroon leading Brazil by 1-0 as things stand. What an evening again. It's quite extraordinary, really, and still the arguments are continuing. We knew this was going to happen probably in this game. There was every expectation that it may boil over at some point.
I think it's because now Serbia sort of know, or the time's closing in on them and the game's almost gone, and this is then when the frustration really starts to peak, and it's just all starting to bubble over.
Serbia at the foot of the table with just a point as things stand. Brazil on 6 points, goal difference of 2. Switzerland on 6 points, a goal difference of 1, and Cameroon on 4 points with a 0 goal difference. So they're going to potentially beat Brazil, but still find themselves out of this World Cup. Good day, little flick inside. Opportunity maybe for the substitute now. Okafor down that left-hand side. If it had found its way to him, it didn't on this occasion. Here's Milson Fernandez down this near touchline, the right, chipped forward towards Pashnat, who was waiting for it, but it's had a play for a throw into the Swiss down this right-hand side. We've almost had our 7 minutes here, and the race is almost run for Serbia. And you can see the Swiss are just encouraging the referee to blow his final whistle. I suspect we're going to get a little more than the 7 though, following that melee of players. They're all prepared to make the runs, and Bola, who's gone off, I think he's got any energy left to run after a terrific shift this evening already. Long one launched forward this time for Serbia. There's a foul, and this time it's Milenkovic that's committed the foul. And one of the players booked in this half for Dragan Stojkovic's side. Out in the group stage in 2018, of course, a group that they shared with Brazil, Switzerland and Costa Rica, and it was the defeat against Switzerland that put them out of the competition. Deja vu 4 years on, and Zerdan Shaqiri once more in the heart of it. There's Goudet down that right-hand side, just moving the ball out to that far touchline where Radonic is there. There's a foul, and it's a free kick for Serbia. Milinkovic-Savic will launch it forward. We've had 8 minutes of the 7 that were added, so we're into overtime here as it's headed towards the edge of the penalty area, that time by Milenkovic. Taken down on this near touchline and kept in by Vidma. And now down that left-hand touchline, it's towards Pavlovic, who's gone in with potentially a bit of a... Both were going in with high boots, wasn't it? But Cher is penalised. It's a free kick here for Serbia. Well, I mean, I'll just kind of do some maths. If they were to concede a goal here, Switzerland, and it became 3-3, they would be on 4 points alongside Cameroon with the same goal difference, but I think they would probably go through on goals scored. But then Cameroon did score against Serbia. We'll have to check the maths on that one in a moment, because if Serbia scored here, it could suddenly get very interesting. Left-footed ball swung over, and it's headed away by Akanji, who again has been excellent for the Swiss, and now they've potentially got a counter down that left-hand side, but defensively it'll be well looked after by Radonic. It's back with Milinkovic-Savic. We've had nearly 9.5 minutes of 7 that were added on in this game, and still Serbia looking for a goal, because it would have an impact on how the table looks. And there's a free kick. Referee will allow Serbia another free kick midway inside the Switzerland half. Going to be delivered out wide on this left-hand side, and it's Filip Kostic who is going to pop it in for Serbia. Left-footed, swings towards the back post, and it breaks, and the driven shot is just wide. Wow, the effort that time from Radonic. He absolutely hammered that from inside the penalty area, but it's gone wide of the left-hand post, and we've had 10 minutes of added time.
Yeah, and he hits it so well. The strike, it's clean, but it's just completely off target. If that's on target, it causes a problem because of how well he struck it, and it's coming through bodies, but goes past the post.
And he doesn't allow the goal kick to be taken. There is the final whistle, and the Swiss celebrate while the Serbians fall to their knees. It's deja vu from 4 years ago in Russia. It's victory for Switzerland that dumped Serbia out of the World Cup. A thoroughly entertaining 90 minutes of football, where at times the Swiss look down and beaten against a very good Serbian side, but they say goals change games, and then Bolo's equaliser 1 minute before half-time did just that. Freuler with the winner 3 minutes into the second half, and it's no surprise that Aleksandar Mitrovic is sat on the ground. Long conversations as well involving Granit Xhaka, and there is fury and rage as ever in Granit Xhaka's eyes. How on earth this stayed as 11 aside, I do not know, because the animosity between these two teams is clear. But once again, just like in Russia, it's Switzerland who go through, and it's Serbia that go out.